go back to Figma for a second. So we are going to talk right now about navigating a space, and I'm also going to talk about how to select objects, how to add objects, delete, and duplicate objects. We'll look at the modes too, because there's two different kinds of modes. So just in here, there's easily a couple of kind of complicated nuances that we're going to cover. So in the future, you can always go back to these different tutorials, but I'm here to actually show you some stuff. Okie dokie. So let's head on over to Blender. I don't see anything showing up in the chat. I don't hear anything, so I'm imagining things are kind of hunky-dory. But what I would like you to do is tell me if I need to slow down or speed up. For those of you that are here on the video, you all can press fast forward or slow down and rewind and pause as needed. So my goal is to kind of show it once and then check in with this group that's here. I'll probably just ask for some sort of emoji or something like that to let me know that it's time to move on. I would like you to have Blender open in the background on your machine and know that I'm going to give you time to actually play with stuff. So I'll show something once or twice and then pause for a little bit, and then you'll be able to play with stuff. For the folks at home who are watching this video in the future, just fast forward during those moments, okay? Alrighty, so our goal right now is to learn how to navigate the viewport inside Blender. The first thing that I would show you is some of the icons in the upper right-hand corner. As I move all the way up there to the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. You see what's called a orientation gizmo. So as I move around this, you see these different letters pop up, and you see the axes. So we have a y-axis, that's the green one. We have the red one, that's X. And then we have Z, which is the blue one that you can't see right now. It just doesn't want to cut your objects right in the middle. But we know that anything going up is Z. And so if I want to see the top of an object, I can click and hold and start to drag down. And now I can see that object. So think of this like a sphere or a globe, and I'm just moving my viewport position around that sphere or globe. So I'm clicking and holding and dragging. I can do that with the Y as well and turn it this way. I can do that with the X as well. Now I've made a special emphasis on the idea of click and hold. Now if you just click once, I'm going to click the Z once and it'll flip me right to the top. So now I'm looking down the axis of that blue line and at the top of my cube. If I grab that and just drag it over and up just a little bit, now I can see that I'm still looking mostly at the top, but I can see over here on the X and Y axes as well. Cool. So that's a little bit about navigating this space in terms of what's called an orbit. So when we are making things in 3D, this is one of those challenging things, right? Where a lot of us, or unless we are physical makers, right, sculptors, maybe like ceramicists or metallurgists or like metalsmiths, we're typically not thinking about something in 3D. We're usually thinking about something in 2D. We might animate that thing, but what's really important to your workflow when you're working in 3D is looking at something in the round and getting different perspectives on that thing. Cool. So that's orbiting. Next, we're just going to go to the next thing underneath it, which is the magnifying glass. Now I'm going to click and hold and just start dragging up and down with my cursor. My hand is actually moving, click, hold, drag up, click, hold, drag back. And as long as I started on the magnifying glass, this is one way to zoom in and zoom out. Now there's lots of ways to zoom in and zoom out, and there's going to be a point where you accidentally move away from stuff, and I'll show you how to get things framed up here in a second, but that is how you zoom in and zoom out. Next, there's something called panning, and so that's the little hand. When I click and hold on the hand, I can start to move things around. And here I've just accidentally made it so that I can't see my box anymore. In fact, I don't know where I am, and I can start looking, start zooming in, start zooming out. And it's really important not to panic at this time, because honestly, that's not going to help you out at all. So what you would do is you want to frame everything. So we go up here to view, and we can frame all. The shortcut for that is home on a Mac, and I think it's probably the same on a PC as well, but under view, frame all. And that will bring us back to that original point. It happens quite frequently that you will be losing where you were, or you might have accidentally hit a weird button and hid stuff. So framing all is going to be a big helper. Cool. Alrighty, so that is the orbit, the zoom in, zoom out, and the panning. I want to give you a couple minutes, it's going to be literally 2 minutes, to just start panning around, make sure that you can orbit, pan, and zoom, and also view and frame all.